I'm Corey Renabaum. I'm the head transfer technician here at Film Rescue. We do film transfer and video transfer for people that have old film and old videotapes that nobody else can work with anymore.
This one's extra full, so it tends to want to fall off the reel.
If you have old vacation footage from Super 8 film, or you've been to Mount Rushmore in 1963, we can put that onto DVD and Blu-ray and computer files for you so that you can look at it again on modern media. And we're actually out here in Indian Head, Saskatchewan. This is the film transfer basement at Film Rescue International. We don't develop a picture or a movie film and give it back to you and it's in perfect condition. What we're doing is more like archaeology in a way. We're trying to take something and work with chemical processes, for example, Kodachrome film. That chemical process doesn't exist anymore. We're one of very few labs in the world that can even do anything with Kodachrome film anymore. And we've had to develop our own process to be able to get any image off of that film at all. So with Kodachrome film, it was a color film. Can't be done in color anymore. We're doing it in black and white now. And so we can still work with that. And for us, we're the last stop for a lot of people. So when they send us movie film, still film to work with, it's because we're the only people in North America, sometimes the world, that can deal with the type of film that they're sending us. We've done work for museums, we've done work for the Smithsonian Institute in the United States, we've done work for the Johnson Presidential Library in the United States, California Historical Society. We've had celebrity clients, we've had from all over the world. We get a lot of business from Europe and things like that as well. We do film. We've had film in here as old as 100 years old that we've got an image off of. So it's the kind of work we're doing isn't your typical photo finishing. We're not located in a thriving metropolis. We're located in a thriving small town. And because of the nature of our business, we can be located in a small town. It's not the kind of business where you need to be in a big city. We do 90% of our business is through mail order, and it's from all over the world. So even if we were located in a city, people were still going to have to mail us stuff from Hong Kong and Russia and Amsterdam and everything anyway. This one was really, really old. This one was so old it wasn't even on a metal reel, it was on an old cardboard reel that was falling apart. And we had to clean every bit of it by hand to even get it into this state. But this is, yeah, some old 1920s silent movie that somebody sent us in for transfer. And we've had stuff like Little Rascals and things like that too. So this is, yeah, sitting in the grandstands during the Apollo 11 launch. So this is what you would have experienced if you'd have been there that day. Yeah, somebody's family and they've gone to see the first moon launch. And all the grandstands and stuff. You see this kind of stuff and the sense of history and stuff for these people. To see something like this, people just went and they felt patriotic and they felt that sense of wonder. But nowadays, it's just something that we all take for granted, whereas back in the day, that was absolutely amazing. And there it goes, see? You're getting VIP access, but you're also getting it from the common man's point of view. We've had stuff in from museums where it's firefighters fighting a fire, and for what, it looked like it was a fire at a refinery, for example, and firefighters getting engulfed in flames, trying to fight a fire and things like that. And when you go home at the end of those days, and that kind of stuff can kind of haunt you for a while, but then you come back the next day and everybody standing in front of Disney World getting ready to go in, and it's like, oh yeah, okay, the world's up, but it's also down, and it's you take the good with the bad. So it's, for every bad thing I see 100 really happy good things. And so it kind of, the bad things you see kind of get way outweighed by the good stuff that you see. The way we work here the hours are not always normal hours. So if we're really busy, for example, at the end of a cycle, we might have 400 or 500 rolls of film going through here. At the end of a cycle, it has to get out in a week. Well, the people, if they feel emotionally invested and feel ownership and feel like it's a family here, it's a lot easier to put in those extra hours to get the stuff out, because we all feel like we're pulling together for the same thing. We all, like I say, we all really feel a personal responsibility to the clients that we're working for. They're trusting us with family history, and that's not something we take lightly. And it's something that we feel important to, that we feel privileged and important to be part of. So you have to have the right people that feel the same way about it as you to be able to work on that stuff, so that it gets out in a timely fashion and everybody is on the same page. We do it because we love what we're doing. We love giving people back part of their family history. We love seeing that history through other people's eyes. And we love the feeling that we get when somebody's really happy with what we've given them. History is such a, abstract concept when you haven't lived through it. So when you actually, meet somebody and they're telling you a story about it, it's like, yeah, you're telling me the story. But then when you actually see the pictures of it and see that person in the actual event at the time, so it really, suddenly you can identify with it a lot more. Going back to kind of World War II, for example, we've had a customer in the last couple of years here that brought us footage, and he had researched all over the internet where he wanted to bring it, and he brought it to us because we specialize in old film. So when we talked to him, he felt really safe bringing it to us, and we're glad that he did, because what it was footage that his dad had shot, and his dad had been young during World War II, was a young father, and this man now who was in his 80s probably, it's footage of him as a child in Belgium during the liberation of Belgium at the end of World War II. So the footage that's his dad shot, a lot of it is people dancing and celebrating in the streets, and that feeling of joy and relief that the people got after the Nazis were ousted from there. So it's, planes flying overhead and Allied soldiers walking in and people cheering and shaking their hands and people skipping and dancing down the street, and this little kid kind of in amongst them all, and then that little kid is the 80-year-old man who's standing over my shoulder watching it. And when that happens, you get chills, right? And you feel emotionally connected to that person, even though they're a stranger. It's like you're experiencing an intimate moment of their life that they haven't seen themselves for a long time. So it makes you feel like a part of their life a little bit, in a way, because you're giving that back to them. It's kind of a neat job in that way, because we're, like I say, we experience history and things through other people's eyes, whether that's family history, whether that's world history, but it's somebody's history, and to be a part of that history is always a privilege for us here.
If you have program ideas that you'd like to see on Local On Demand, write us at max.local@sastel.com. Max Local programming is now available online at maxonline.sastel.com.